Cypher is a great sentinel to play on Valorant's brand new map, Lotus. In this video, we'll cover everything you need to know to dominate your enemies on this map. Without further ado, let's get into it. On the A site, you have two cameras you can use. For an early peek into a lobby, use this aggressive camera. Because it'll get shot quickly, this more passive camera will give you great information when enemies are coming to the site. It's the best one to play defensive with kill traps. Your tripwire placement will differ if you prefer playing for information or for kills. For passive information traps, use one in A main behind the wooden box and the other one in tree. They'll give you very good important information, especially if your enemies tend to play slowly. But usually, especially in ranked, attackers will rush to site. That's why kill tripwires can be better. When playing from backside, place your two traps on both ways, left and right. They'll catch enemies running in and the spike planter too. For your cages, you can either use them for main and tree, just like this, or to protect you from enemies running backside by placing them like so. It will depend on the tripwires you're using, as you want to hide them inside the cages. The B side of Lotus is very special. We recommend to use this camera on top of main. It'll spot anyone getting on site while staying hidden from attackers' POV. If you prefer getting a view of enemies spawn, use this camera. It's very useful if you want to be aggressive with your team. For your traps, just like on A, you can play with information tripwires on main. You're free to place the second one either in A main or on C. It's very good if you decide to play retake, for example. When it comes to kill setups, you have this low tripwire from the wooden box to the left wall. Here we recommend you to use one cage main to delay the push and hide your trap, and the second one up in window. It'll give you some cover when playing off of your tripwires. The C side of Lotus is interesting. You have three main cameras you should know. The first cam, as always, is an aggressive one, spotting enemies running down C long. You'll get very interesting info, especially if your enemies tend to rush sites fast. The next camera is a little bit more hidden. After the barrier drops, place your cam right behind this box. It'll be hidden from enemies pushing C long and will spot them when executing on site. Plus, this camera is capable of hearing enemies around B and deep C, which is always nice. The last camera we recommend you using on C is a more passive one, right on top of the C arch. It won't be able to spot enemies deep C long, but when they're entering the site. Because of its height, attackers usually don't destroy it. On C site, the main tripwire is great, but you can use this low one from the flower on the ground. This one deeper on site is very good too. Enemies usually don't expect it. If you prefer playing retake, you can use this trap on site. It'll catch the spike planter and allow you to eliminate him easily. You can also try a trap in C main. You'll be able to wallbang from the ramp in CT. For your defensive cages on C, you can either use normal cages like so in main and elbow, or play off of a one-way. To make the one-way work, come to this corner, align this UI element under this lily pad, and throw your first cage. For the second one, simply aim at the top left part of this pink flower. The entire choke point will be covered by this insane one-way. You should play elbow and swing when attackers break your tripwire. Easy kills for you. Attack is where Cypher really shines on Lotus. It's a pretty large map and your traps are key to keep your team's flank safe. This trap on C lobby is a must. You need it every round. Defenders usually tend to push here. You have to place it exactly here. It's the only spot where enemies can't jump over or crouch under. The A flank tripwire depends on the site you're executing. If you're pushing A, place your wire here. And when you're planning to push B or C, place it deeper there. Defenders pushing A won't be able to see too deep into your spawn. The attack cameras on Lotus are very good too. Use this one on A lobby for an early peek. You'll sometimes find a jet playing the operator here. Make sure to communicate it to your team. Just like on Haven, you can throw a cage here to deny vision from defenders. They won't know whether your team is pushing or if you're lurking or not. Your camera will spot anyone creeping up too close if needed. On B, you can place this camera to get information on site. It's very easy and you'll be able to see everything. C long control is as important as A control. That's why we also recommend you to use this camera in your games. The purpose is to spot anyone holding or pushing so you can adapt quicker. Cypher is the best sentinel to play on Fracture or Split, for example. Make sure to check out our guides on every other map in Valorant. They'll help you master Cypher. Thanks for watching, consider subscribing and leaving a like if you enjoyed today's video, and we'll catch you in the next one.